draw and sketch, and write. Compile those, become a book. Right? Straightforward. Whether you know it or you don't, or whether you want to do it or not. But you need to do practical lah. Then you know the pitfalls on all these tips that I showed you. They have their own pro and cons. But I am very sure, one of it will fit you. One of the strategy, one of the technique that I share today will fit you. That I'm very sure. Okay, now everybody can write. Sometimes people start to recognize your writings, but don't expect this from your first writing. So my first book was a mess. Saya pun, saya pun malu nak tunjuk ke orang my first book, right? But that's the way it is. Move on. It's not your first book that's important. Your important part is your next book is important. So your first book is the piloting of pre-launching of your next book. So your next book is important. Along the way, people will start to acknowledge your book, okay, or your writings or your products, and they will start to appreciate and give you the due recognition. But that is not your main purpose lah. Your main purpose just now is caring is sharing. And sharing is caring. Whatever that is, right? Dr. Fudal, are you there?
Ya, ada. Dia lag.
Ada. Okay, saya sengaja buat section by section yang mudah untuk diurus.
Okay, thank you, Dato, for the session. Interesting. Methods of writing a book. Okay. Any question from the floor? Participants? Okay, maybe there is one. Untuk postgraduate, apa nasihat Datuk untuk menulis buku dari segi pemilihan tajuk? Content. I think this one have been answered before. Tapi if you want to, Datuk want to repeat it.
Apa soalan tadi?
For the postgraduate students,
Postgraduate.
yes, apa nasihat Datuk untuk menulis buku dari segi pemilihan tajuk?
Interesting.
Okay.
First is, what is your pain point? Menjadi kesakitan anda sebagai postgraduate ni apa? Contoh saja ya. Contohnya yang menjadikan sakitnya anda sebagai postgraduate adalah hubungan pelajar dengan penyelia. Right? So anda boleh tulis buku tentang menjaga hubungan pelajar dan penyelia. You can write a book about how to maintain connection or how to maintain relationship between students and your supervisor from your postgraduate students' point of view, from your experience point of view. Right? Got a topic already. Maybe you can interview many supervisors and you can see what the supervisor point of view pula. Maybe you can interview some of your friends several pinpoint about the relationship with supervisor. There's a book. Payahnya tulis buku, right? So that's a good topic already. I think if you write the Google form now, you can shoot your form tomorrow to all the supervisor in Malaysia or even in the world, and you can shoot your Google form for your postgraduate students now in the world, and what will be the way forward in this lockdown era, and what will be their suggestion. You have a good book already. I might buy your book. Done. Okay, Dr. Fudai?
Okay, Datuk, good idea lah ya. One of the ideas tu kata from to write a book from the student perspective, not from SB. I think most of the topics on the market is from the SV perspective. There is, I think, a lack of books on macam mana cara-cara untuk menulis buku, untuk membuat PhD dari segi orang kata pelajar tu sendiri untuk melihat.
Yes. Now, when you interact with people, this is a cue that I will give you, a tip that I will give you. When you interact with people, when they say they have a problem, listen. Okay?
Okay.
Don't interrupt. When people say they have a problem, listen and don't interrupt. Why? Because you have opportunity to learn what is their pain point. Once you know what is their pain point, that is content for your book. Because once you can address your knowledge, your experience, your skill with somebody else pain point, that is the in thing. All right. So in any interact lagi, Dr. Fudan?
Untuk ada yang bagi cadangan, okay Datuk, cooking recipes untuk dibukukan okay. Sebenarnya okay, banyaklah komen from the participants. There are a lot of topics that we can write, whether you want it or not saja. Travelog ada demand. Okay, from pengarah penerbit says that Travelog ada demand.
Yeah.
Okay, kami mengalu-alukan staff UTM untuk menghantar ataupun menerbitkan manuskrip pada penerbit. Mungkin saya boleh tanya ataupun saya boleh utarakan persoalan kepada Dr. Mahfuzah sebagai pengarah penerbit. Jika staf luar yang berminat, contohnya yang dia tak ada attachment kepada UTM, no attachment to UTM, bukan staff, nak menggunakan khidmat penerbit UTM, macam mana tu? Ada tak dari segi garis panduan ke bayaran ke contoh sebagainya? Maybe penerbit boleh tambah to shed some light here.
Yeah. Boleh. Sebenarnya tiada halangan untuk penulis luar untuk hantar manuskrip pada penerbit UTM. Memang kita ada, sekarang ni pun kita dah terima satu manuskrip daripada sastrawan negara, so dalam proses penilaian. Dan proses dia sama, penilaian akan dibuat oleh UTM, kami akan buat editing, proofread dan sebagainya. Dan royalty pun sama, tak ada bezanya antara penulis luar dan dalam, tapi keutamaan diberikan kepada penulis dalam, iaitu staf UTM. Dan ada kota untuk penulis luar. Itu je yang saya boleh beritahu. Okay, yang lain semua royalty semua sama, tak perlu charge apa-apa. Everything is free of charge.
Okay, terima kasih doktor. Mungkin boleh tambah lagi biasanya berapa untuk, okay, Datuk Jai mungkin dah have explain tips and techniques to orang kata write book. Tapi from the process of, let's say we have written the manuscript and then from this written orang kata unformal manuscript trying to be formalized by using the service of penerbit ni, how long it takes?
Okay, from the perspective, dari perspektif saya lah di penerbit, actually we are looking manuscript yang ada demand, okay, di market. Contohnya buku-buku travelog, okay, buku-buku ilmiah selalunya textbook. Okay, textbook kalau boleh jangan fokus pada pelajar UTM sahaja. Please tengok pada TVET institution yang lain. Okay, kalau buku tu buku engineering, mungkin pelajar-pelajar daripada Politeknik, SIAS, HLP. So market dia lebih luas, lebih besar dan make it general, easy to understand. Okay, start from the basic. Because a journal, from mentioned before, journal is to the expert in the area. Okay, kita dah ada target. Okay, so buku dia lebih general, lebih informative, to educate, to share what we know. Okay, that is the tips. Dari segi trend sekarang ni kami mencari buku-buku yang lebih kepada teknologi. Okay, sebab UTM kita dah ada kita punya niche area, so kami mengalu-alukan manuskrip yang lebih kepada engineering lah. So nanti saya akan update sikit-sikit lah, Doktor. Boleh ya?
Okay, boleh. Cuma ada satu one question tadi tu, berapa lama tu? 3 bulan ke 4 bulan for them to know lah, participant kita mungkin have idea. Okay, let's say they want to.
Karya kreatif, okay, karya kreatif contohnya macam puisi, travelog, motivation book akan ambil masa paling cepat dalam 6 bulan. Okay, 6 bulan hingga setahun. Untuk yang bahan ilmiah mengambil masa lebih kurang setahun hingga 2 tahun juga sebab kita ada proses penilai bidang luar dan juga bidang dalam. Bergantung kepada komitmen penulis juga. Maknanya kalau penulis follow the timeline, so kita akan publish cepat.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Mahfuzah for your explanation. Maybe Dato', are you there, Dato'?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe ada one more question. How do we know that the level of our draft book ni is ready enough to for delivery to any publisher? Okay, this one stage lah before you bagi buku you tu, draft tu kepada publisher, ada one step lagi ni. How do we know? How do we evaluate that our draft ni is good enough? Please, Dato'.
Okay, we can never know for sure, Azrik. But one of the strategy is to show your manuscript to few different people and see their feedback. Kadang-kadang nak pujuk kawan-kawan untuk baca pun payah juga sebab tengok manuskrip katalah 300 muka surat, takut juga nak baca tu. So, but if you can have your colleague, friend or your potential reader to read your manuscript and get the feedback, that you can judge from there, probably something that you can wait. Okay, this is ready or not lah. But who knows? We never know. J.K. Rowling dia punya Harry Potter tu berapa kali kena reject. Biasa. So sometimes you have to persevere. But at the end of the day, you must know that you have put in the good enough quality in your manuscript. But feedback is important. Feedback is very important in domain. Okay. Can we move on?
Okay, I thought maybe we can move on to the final session, session 4.
This is the interesting part. The most important tips I reserve for last. So listen and listen carefully. Okay, like I promised just now. Let's see what happens. Oh, step 1 ni saya share online dulu. This is not mine yet. This is from Ganesh Samarthyam. Step 1, get a book idea. What is your interest? What is the market need? Topic for your book. You know, your interest, your experience, what will be the needs of the market, and what will be the skill that you can put in, that you can share. Dekat mana dia overlap? This is an ideal area for your topic, for your book. Okay, ini dia bagi tips lah. Step 7, masih lagi dia rasanya ni. Request online reviews, reach out to potential person. Ini kalau nak promote the book lah kan. Promote your book online, saya pun nak buat. Tapi kadang-kadang kena pandai the trick lah, pakai FB ads ke whatever ke kan. But I think personal contact is so far the most efficient for me lah. Untuk orang lain saya tak tahu, tapi dalam area promote buku ni personal contact is still the best for me. Okay. Relax, it's okay to blow. Kadang-kadang nak kena tunjuk gas sikit lah kan. Kalau kita terlampau zuhur sangat, tak nak mention apa-apa, nanti orang pun tahu kan. So if you want to sell, you sell. So when time is to sell, then you need to blow your horn. What the heck, man? We have to blow your horn. Write a book takes a ton of work. Yes. How do I get manuscript from my heart to paper? Itu isu tadi kan? Sama isu tadi. Rejected by 140 publishers. Now $1 billion brand lah. Ya, Chicken Soup for the Soul ni, bayangkan 140 penerbit menolak dia punya manuskrip. Publisher kata, ya ini tak boleh laku lah, apa cerita-cerita moral story, siapa nak baca. Akhirnya $1 billion brand. Okay. Sometimes you have to believe on yourself lah kan. Apa nak buat? Kadang-kadang orang tak nampak apa yang kita nampak. At the same time, jangan lose touch of reality lah. Kalau terlampau sangat self-confident, langsung tak check reality pun payah juga, right? 140 rejection is a lot, you know. It takes a lot of strength, mental strength to withstand that. Okay. Writing a book is not the end. It is a beginning of building a personal brand. It is a beginning, right? Waalaikumsalam, Izzah. It's just a beginning. Personal brand, no matter who you are, student ke, pencara ke, pekerja ke, whoever you are, if you have a book, your personal brand will rise. Very simple. If you tell people you have a book, your personal brand automatically. Today. So now everybody can write. Become a writer, make money, maybe, maybe not. But dengan penerbit UTM, at least you have some money lah. Masuk manuskrip, kalau manuskrip terima, immediately dia akan bagi dia duit. So, okay lah. I think dengan UTM saya dah ada 4 buku ke 5 buku UTM sekarang ni. Bayangkanlah, right? Bayangkan. Thank you for the kind words. Become famous writer, kalau jadilah, kalau tak jadi pun tak apa. Yang penting sharing is caring, right? So sometimes you become famous writer lah. Kalau tak jadi pun tak apa, it's okay. Just for Mahami and whatever other needs. Okay. Using the right training methods. Okay, this is dah mula ni. Ini dah mula nak share dah ni. Dan dia ada areas, kita pecahkan aktiviti kita kepada 70, 20, 10. Okay. 2020. Are you talking to me, Dr. Syamil? I cannot. Dr. Syamil, are you talking to me? Or maybe you can chat. Because I miss whatever you want to say. Okay. Maybe you can chat, Dr. Syamil. I cannot hear your voice. No. Oh, bagus. Nak tulis. Kita punya famous coach, celebrity. Nak tulis buku lepas ni, bagus. You need one book, Dr. Amir. One book to stamp down your authority in whatever field you are. Have one book at least. That's the only way people respect you. Okay. 70-20-10 model. I think this is a good one, right? And that's why I share with you. The right learning what happens through experience. You have to experience it. Whatever I've shared today, most of it I've done it. Okay, most of it. I cannot say all lah, but most of it I've done it. Then I share. It makes it more meaningful. Okay. 20% through conversation. That's why I said just now. When you talk to other people, and that person start to open up, and that person start to tell you a story or their problem, time to listen. Shut up and listen. Because that is 20% of your material for writing a book. Yeah. So learn to shut up and listen and take note. What are their pain points, right? You can ini Hidayah from Hidayah. You can write your whatever suits you, whatever suits your personality. Saya cuba buat seorang-seorang dulu, right? Hidayah. I tried to do it myself, but it took me 2 years to finish. So in groups, maybe it'll be faster lah, right? 6 months, 9 months, 3 months to write a book in group, right? Your choice. Okay, whatever suits you. Thank you for the kind words. Conversation with other people 20% and 10% through traditional training courses. Macam hari ni you duduk kat sini dengar saya punya webinar, this is 10% of your material. 10% je. Part of it is your experience, your reading, or other people experience that you read, and conversation with other people, those are part of your material. Attending courses is only 10%. So jangan gawat sangat attend course. Yang penting asal gerak bisa jadi. Asal gerak penanya Pak, bisa dah nak jadi buku. Asal gerak bisa jadi. Okay. Now, this is my tips. This is the secret I want to share with you. This is the thing that I promised just now. Biasanya, kalau pernah tengok orang shooting film, pernah tengok orang shooting film? Good. Kalau tak pernah, kita tengok orang shooting film. Similar to shooting a film, you don't go to one place to shoot a scene, then go to another place, shoot another scene, then come back to your first place to shoot the next scene in accordance to the flow in the script. You shoot film, katalah ada scene dekat PD. Ada 2-3 scene dekat PD. Ada 2-3 scene dekat KL. So, you pergi dekat KL, oh dalam skrip lepas kat KL ni, kita kena pergi dekat PD pula. So, pergi pula kat PD. Buat shooting dekat PD. Habis kat PD, oh ada dulu kat ikut skrip, ada dekat KL. Pergi kat KL. Kat PD, pergi balik kat PD buat shooting. Ada buat macam tu kan? That will be a waste of resources. Ni ada soalan, kata my first writing masa bila? Masa ada doktor dulu. Masa mula-mula jadi pensyarah. Jadi doktor. So I wrote early lah, but quality is not, I'm not proud of the quality lah kan. Soalan tadi, bila saya mula menulis? Masa saya ada doktor dulu, saya start nulis lah. Dah siap satu buku dah. Whatever it is, start early. Your advantage is siapa yang start early, siapa yang mula awal, dia ada advantage dalam hidup sekarang. Whoever starts first, he will have the advantage. Dia bukan siapa yang tahu banyak. Dalam zaman era hari ini, is who start first. First quality one, masa ada doktor juga lah. First quality book, masa ada doktor juga lah. Okay, you learn fast. I learn fast. Alright. Okay, start early. Make early mistake. Make mistake early. Before orang lain buat that mistake, you buat mistake tu dulu. So that you can learn and you terus faham, you terus jalan. So make early mistake is better than make late mistake. Alright? Dah dua laptop bertukar tak siap-siap. Now is the time to siapkan. Alright? Make that mistake early and finish your manuscript. Have a due date. So, coming back to my, this is important, right? When you write a book, memang saya faham dari awal tadi, first chapter tadi, first teknik tadi ialah ada topik, chapter 1, ada chapter 2, ada chapter 3, ada chapter 4. Lepas tu tulislah chapter 1, habis chapter 1, lepas tu subchapter 1.2, 1.3, dah habis, buat chapter 2, 2.1. Well, you can do that if you want. I've done that. But it takes a lot of time. Better use this one. You create plot. Plot. Hari ni you punya interest, you punya focus, what plot? You tulislah plot tu. Macam shooting juga. Hari ni kita nak shoot kat mana? Hari ni kita nak shoot kat PD. You pergi PD, you shoot semua scene yang dekat PD tu. Selesaikan scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4 in PD. Selesai scene dekat PD, move to KL and you shoot your film plot, all the plot in KL. Screen tu bla 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 kat KL, selesai KL, pergi tempat lain pula. Tak payahlah patah balik KL 3 kali 4 kali untuk shoot filem tu kan. Buku macam tu juga. What is the problem kalau kita buat one by one? The problem is, ini saya yang experience, my experience. The problem is, katalah chapter 1 saya okay, so I finish chapter 1, no problem. But chapter 2.2, I have a problem. Maybe I don't have interest. Benda 2.2 ni saya tak minat sangat. I don't have the motivation to write chapter 2.2. Saya stuck. Dalam kes saya tu, I stuck for 3 months chapter 2.2 lah, for example. One subject chapter tu, I stuck for 3 months. Tak boleh move, mental block. Patutnya boleh je tulis chapter 3.1 or 3.11 or 4.2, whatever yang you minat. Kena baca balik chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Nak dapatkan the mood balik. So you waste a lot of time. Once you stop writing, to get the momentum balik, to get the momentum back, you will waste a lot of time. So my suggestion is scene 1, take 1. Whatever scene that you are interested in during that day, you write it down, and then you keep in your folder. So until later on, all the scene is been written. So you write something that you are interested in for the day. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Akhirnya you get enough plot to put in as one book. So just write a plot and keep it in your personal folder or library. It will grow, and until one day it become a book. So you can write every day. Simple thing that you think is sometimes during reading, you say, oh, this material I want to write for my book. So you just stop reading, write a book based on that material, done. You get one plot for the day, done. If one day, satu hari, you can write 3 plots. One day you can write for 3 plots. So in 1 month you can write 90 plots. In 1 month you can write 90 plots. In 3 months you can write 270 plots, about 300 plots. So in 3 months, 1 book. In 3 months you can have a manuscript for 1 book ready. We are not talking about quality yet, yeah. Manuscript ready. Itu yang penting. And celebrate. you have to learn to celebrate little success story. Okay, so once you have finished that, then you can celebrate. Very good. Keywords tracker and all that. So this is my technique to avoid mental block. With this technique, mental block tak datang. This is my technique to avoid mental block. There's no mental block. I write when I want to write. Whatever topic that I like for the day. Okay, so this is important. My first one. Second one, have a mentor. And then you can also interview the expert. You don't have to be an expert to write a book. Mana buku saya ni? Ini. In this book, although we do it in the group, this book, we find 4 professors who have done commercialization of their product. Transcribe the interview session and find out what is the knowledge, what is the model behind that interview material. One book. So who says you have to be an expert to write a book? You don't have to be an expert, but you have to know who are the experts and interview them. Interview them, tell them this interview, we want to write a book. Usually they will be glad to help you. Right? They tell them you will have acknowledge, masa datang tu bawalah buat tangan sikit kan. Jadi pandai-pandai ya. You just need to know who is or are the expert and make effort to contact them. Sekarang ni kalau tak boleh nak contact physically, you can contact dalam alam maya saja, not difficult. The expertise need not come from high qualifications. It can come from experience and wisdom. Saya dah cerita dah awal-awal tadi. Knowledge, campur dengan care, you get one formula for it. This is my second killer tips to write book in a short time. Right? What is my third killer technique? Stand on the shoulder of a giant. Find a famous writer, established writer, and tag with them, tag team with them. Right? If you work with them and you have co-author with them, immediately this established author will have followers. Immediately, his followers or her followers also becomes your follower. But the only thing is you have to convince this famous writer lah, whether they want of effort to gain their confidence lah. That's PR. You play your PR lah. It may take a very long time to gain their confidence and acceptance to be your mentor or to be your partner. But if you can do it, you have instant recognition. When you see, people see you are authoring with somebody famous, they thought you are also famous. Okay, so you get instant recognition that the established authors have. This is my second trick. Today I will release all the famous. Education is not the learning of facts, according to Einstein. It is rather the training of the mind. So, your mind is like your physical body. If your physical body, you have to flex your muscle so that your body is fit and have a muscular, lean, mean. muscle. So is your mind. How do you flex the muscle of the mind? Try writing a book. People say, oh, you have to do reading, you have to do thinking. But how do you force yourself to have a high level thinking? Try writing a book. And you know. If you have not experienced it, you will never know. Right? So the thing here now is to exercise there's no shortcut to build your mind muscle. You build your physical muscle, you must sweat. You build your brain muscle, your mind muscle, you must also sweat inside. Until and unless you are sweating inside, you are not there yet. So accept that as the norm. Probably the new norm. Who knows? Okay. With that, I will share one more tips. This is not in my script, but I have an idea right now. So bear with me, listen and listen. The first level of interaction and writing hold on. There's used to discrete our thesis into several papers and publish them in good journals. If we combine them, we can come up with a completed book. That's my question. Is there any issue if we restructure our published paper and transform them to book chapters? If yes, it is unethical to publish. Please clarify question. Okay. The question is you have your thesis. You have your thesis. And then part of the thesis you publish in the journal. Right? You publish in the journal. And now you want to publish a book based on your thesis. Is that ethical? It depends. If you, I've told you earlier on, when you write for specific audience. The core material is the same. Core material is the same, whether you write thesis, whether you write journal, or whether you write a book for general audience. The core material is the same. But the presentation will be different. My analogy is similar, just now I mentioned the analogy. The raw material in your refrigerator, in your fridge, is the same. The raw material is the same. But you have to have different recipe for different audience. You have to have different recipe for different audience. If your mother-in-law is coming, then you cook for your mother-in-law. That will suit the taste orang lama. Orang kampungnya style ke. You must understand what is their flavor. But if you are inviting your colleague from office, then it's different. But if you are cooking for your kid and her or his classmate, maybe teenagers, their taste will be different. So the art here now is to create different recipes from the same raw material. But one thing, but to be on the safe side, on the ethical issue, say, okay, this usually I'll do that. This, if we present this almost the same thing on different conference, we can say, okay, this paper that I presented is based on a paper that I've presented in certain journal. But obviously, in this conference, I add one or two things. So you have to declare, and it's up to the publisher, it's up to the authority to accept or not to accept based on their knowledge. So always good to declare. The problem in ethical issue is when you don't declare. When you don't declare, you do it 100% same, and the paper A you send to journal B, paper B you send to journal C, but paper A and paper B 100% the same, and he did not declare. That's the problem. Declare and let them decide. Let them decide. If they want to see the evidence, how close is close, how same is same, you send them both manuscript and they can judge for themselves. Let them judge for you. Okay. So this is my always, it's always safe to declare. Rule of thumb, declare. Also the questionnaire. You feel there's conflict, there's how many percent is acceptable or not, declare and ask them. They will tell you, okay, this is okay or not. Usually should be all right. Once you declare, that will solve a lot of problem. Okay. Now I want to focus on the thing that I want to share, which is not in the script. Okay. There are several level of pouring your mind into the paper. The first level is you pour your words into the paper. That is the lowest level. Okay, that is the lowest level. Why? No matter how good is your vocabulary, no matter how good is your submodality, if you just pour words into papers, it is very dry, and that's the first level, and that's the lowest. Up, up, next level. Whoa, up, next level. Next level is, so I will write first level, number one, word. Can you see? I don't know if you can see or not. Okay. Enter. All right. Can you see that? Number one is the word. Number two. Number two. You pour your emotion into the word. Let me see. I go slow motion now because this suddenly idea strike my head. Pour your emotion because whatever comes from the heart will touch the heart. People love to be emotionalized. People love to feel the empathy. People love to feel the anxiousness. People love to feel the sadness. Yeah, enough tasting all the pieces. And the third level is share the vibration. Ini Dr. Azma suka lah. Share the getaran jiwa. When they read, the feeling, and they can feel the vibration. Because vibration, the jiwa punya vibration ni, is not limited to the space and time dimension. Wherever you are, you can feel the vibration. It is not limited to space and time dimension. Right? The fourth one. Via resonance. Ini pun Dr. Azma suka ni. You establish connection with your audience. When they vibrate, jiwa, when they vibrate at the same frequency as your frequency, resonance will occur. So you connect via resonance. You tune in. Macamlah kita nak tune TV, lu radio, station radio awal-awal lu pakai analog. You tune the frequency, you get the tuning, you get the voice, you get the picture. Right? Sekarang digital kena tune juga lah. Buat digital tuning lah. Orang level saya ni, dia faham the analog tuning lebih cepat. Right? And number 5. Bonding via the aura. Jadi resonance, vibration semua tu ada frekuensi lah. Right? Adalah frekuensi. Sekarang ni up with the aura. Aura ni ada orang boleh nampak, ada orang tak boleh nampak. You bond, you have the same aura, you bond with your audience. That's why I've told you earlier on, when you write, you imagine the audience is in front of you and you bond with your imaginary audience. That bonding can occur in the real world. Okay, this is, I don't know what ilham datang hari ini. This is something not in my script. So, number 6, the last one, they become contagious with the energy. Energy that you transmit. Okay, so those are the 6 steps in making an impact when you write your book. Okay, so those are the 6 level of writing that can make huge impact in your writing. Okay, Dr. Fudail, I guess that might be my lepas ini aktiviti kita tak boleh nak buat lah, tak ada masa nak buat. I just discuss lah. Thank you. Asal gerak bisa jadi, we can open the discussion now. Dr. Fudail.
Okay, thank you very much, Dato', for the very inspiring speech and sharing. Maybe for the final session ni, is the orang kata the heart of the heart kot. Okay, that 6 words that we have to remember, or keyword that we remember. First kali, words then second emotion, share the vibration, connect the resonance, bonding, and then contagious, by energy. Okay, hopefully all of us can take the lessons, learn the lesson, and maybe is there any question from the participant? I open to the floor for any question.
Assalamualaikum. Boleh saya mulakan dahulu?
Silakan. Siapa bagi tahu nama tu? Boleh tak?
Saya Fahmi daripada FTI.
PM Fahmi, okey. Silakan.
Saya cuma nak dapatkan gambaran keseluruhan bahawa tajuk apa dipanggil webinar ni ada 10 tips kan. Jadi saya mungkin ada terlepas beberapa tips. Jadi macam mana nak tahu yang 10 tu? Dekat slide yang terakhir.
Thank you PM Fahmi. Kebanyakan yang 10 tu ada dalam tadi slide yang dalam tulisan tangan saya satu. Yang kedua tu kalau you perasan dalam slide tulisan tangan saya tu dia ada nombor-nombor. So kalau tak silap ada 11. In fact saya share tadi lebih kurang dalam 12 atau 13 tips lah yang strategi itu tulis buku. So kebanyakan yang dalam tulisan tangan itu handwriting, that is the tips that I share to you today.
Baik Prof, terima kasih.
Alright. Thank you. Siapa ni?
Okay. Seterusnya, any question? Thank you PM Fahmi for the question tu. 10 techniques. I think you give more than 10 techniques ya. Betul Datuk?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Saya Zanato dari UKM.
Okay.
Tadi pelbagai penulisan lah sama ada dalam bentuk akademik ataupun feelings yang boleh kita terbitkan. Tapi macam penerbit UTM ataupun universiti ni adalah penerbit tersohor dia lebih kepada akademik. Jadi kalau kita ada tulisan contohnya macam tadi feeling, values tentang keluarga, macam mana kita nak pilih penerbit dan bagaimana caranya untuk connect dengan penerbit yang sesuai. Terima kasih Datuk. Terima kasih.
Okey, ini penerbit boleh jawab. Dr. Mahfuzah.
Okey, terima kasih. Soalan tu sebenarnya direct pada penerbit lah. Sebenarnya UTM dah start untuk menerima manuskrip karya kreatif. So selain daripada buku ilmiah, ada banyak lagi karya-karya yang kami terima. So boleh direct terus dengan kami. Saya akan share email selepas ni dan nombor telefon untuk dihubungi. Boleh?
Okey, terima kasih.
Boleh saya tanya sekali lagi Datuk?
Boleh.
Fahmi sekali lagi. Saya kadang-kadang confuse buku ilmiah ni dengan buku karya kreatif. Especially yang tajuk-tajuk yang generic. Macam contohnya buku Datuk Wealth Creation tu, dia ada satu ilmu baru. So dia buku ilmiah sepatutnya kan? Tapi dalam masa sama bahasanya bahasa yang generik lah maknanya. So apa sempadan buku ilmiah dengan buku karya kreatif ni?
Okey, sekali lagi ini soalan senang, penerbit boleh jawab.
Okey. Bila kita sebut bahan ilmiah, kebanyakannya ada reference, ada citation, lebih kepada data. Lebih kepada data.